In the heart of America, where the land stretches wider than the eye can see, waves of golden wheat shimmer beneath the sun. The wind moves gently across the plains, carrying the scent of earth and life, a reminder that everything begins here with the soil. Every stalk of wheat, every grain tells a story of patience, labor, and love. For generations, these fields have been the quiet heartbeat of a nation. They whisper the same story through time, of farmers rising before dawn, of hands that know the land by touch alone. And as the world changes, these hands remain steady. They are the reason the world eats. If you believe in stories of strength, resilience, and the quiet beauty of honest work, stay with us and be part of this journey. This is Hands of America, Discovery. The dawn breaks slowly, painting the sky in shades of amber and rose. In that first light, the wheat glows like liquid gold. Somewhere in the distance, the soft hum of engines begins. Diesel and sunlight meet once again, marking the start of another harvest. Each year, this ritual repeats, a sacred rhythm between man, machine, and nature. The machines awaken like giants of steel, rolling across the open land, slicing through rows of wheat with surgical precision. But behind every machine is a story of someone who learned this craft from his father and his father before him. The American wheat belt, stretching from Texas to the Dakotas, is more than a region. It is a living monument to perseverance. Through droughts, storms, and years of abundance, these lands have fed a nation and countless others across the seas. Long before skyscrapers and cities, before highways and screens, this was America's true foundation. Fields of grain stretching to the horizon, feeding both body and soul. Every kernel of wheat represents more than food. It's a symbol of what it means to endure. The wind bends the fields like waves on an ocean of gold. It's easy to forget how fragile all this is. One bad season, one storm too many, and the rhythm could break. Yet somehow it doesn't. Farmers adapt, rebuild, and plant again, because giving up isn't part of the American vocabulary out here. For the farmer, harvest is not just work, it's a calling. It's the final chapter of a year-long prayer. From the moment the seeds touched the ground, they dreamed of this day, the day when the earth gives back. In the soft morning light, combines move across the plains like ships on a golden sea. Each turn of their blades cuts through months of labor, each load of grain a small victory. The air fills with dust, light, and the deep sound of engines that never stop. Out here, there's no need for words. The language is written in motion. The steady line of a combine, the dust trails rising behind it, the quiet pride of the driver watching his harvest come alive. As the sun climbs higher, the fields seem endless. The wheat sways as if it knows its time. Every acre harvested is a chapter closed, another promise kept. The horizon glows brighter, and for a moment it feels as if all of America breathes with these fields. Because this simple act of harvesting wheat is not just about food. It's about connection between man and land, between generations, between a nation and the soil that built it. And when the day is done and the fields lie bare beneath the stars, the story doesn't end. It simply waits for dawn again. Before machines ruled the fields, there were hands, rough, weathered, and unwavering. The history of wheat in America is the story of those hands and of the courage it took to tame an untamed land. When settlers first arrived in the vast plains, they found soil rich but wild, and weather that could turn from promise to punishment overnight. They brought seeds from Europe, hard red winter wheat from Ukraine and Germany, and planted their hopes beneath the endless sky. What they didn't know then was that they were planting the foundation of a nation's strength. The prairie had no mercy. Summers burned, winters froze, and storms tore through crops like fire. But those who stayed learned the land's rhythm, when to sow, when to rest, and when to trust that the earth would answer back. Every farm that stood the test of time carries the memory of struggle. The old barns, the rusted plows, the weathered fences, they're monuments to grit. Each one a reminder that the harvest never comes easy and that it never should. By the late 1800s, the Great Plains had become the breadbasket of the world. Wheat turned small towns into lifelines of commerce. Grain elevators rose like cathedrals, and trains carried the harvest toward distant cities and ports. From Kansas to Minnesota, from Nebraska to North Dakota, the same rhythm pulsed, a hum of labor, dust, and faith. It wasn't just a job, it was an identity. To be a wheat farmer was to live by the will of the weather and to measure time not in days or weeks, but in seasons.
The early farmers didn't have GPS or sensors, just instincts sharpened by generations. They watched the sky, felt the soil, and listened to the sound of the wind as if it spoke in secrets. They knew when rain was coming, when frost was near, and when the harvest could wait no longer. Families worked together, side by side. Children grew up chasing grasshoppers between rows, mothers baked bread from the same grain their husbands had cut, and evenings were filled with the soft crackle of radios and the smell of oil and dust. This was the rhythm of the land, steady, unhurried, and eternal. It taught patience, humility, and respect. And even as America changed, as cities rose and technology took over, that rhythm never truly disappeared. You can still feel it today in the early mornings of June and July, when the wheat begins to turn. The color shifts from green to gold, and the air grows heavy with warmth. The same wind that carried dust in the 1930s now carries the hum of engines, but the meaning remains the same. Harvest is coming. In those moments, the line between past and present blurs. The farmer standing on his combine may wear a cap and hold a tablet, but in his heart he's not so different from his great-grandfather guiding a team of horses. Both know the same truth, that the land gives nothing without effort, and that every grain of wheat is earned. There's something sacred in that understanding, something that connects generations across time. Each harvest is both an ending and a beginning, the closing of one cycle and the quiet promise of another. Out here, in the wide silence of the plains, you realize that the story of wheat is not just about food. It's about faith. Faith in the land, faith in the sky, and faith in yourself. Because every farmer knows you can't control the harvest. You can only prepare, endure, and hope. And when the first stalk falls under the blade, when the smell of grain fills the air, it feels like a heartbeat, a reminder that life, no matter how fragile, always finds a way to grow again. As the years passed, the quiet rhythm of the land began to change. The same fields that once echoed with the creak of wooden wagons and the snort of horses now hum with the power of engines. Steel replaced sinew. Precision replaced guesswork. But the heart behind it all, the spirit of the farmer, remained the same. Today's harvest is a symphony of sunlight and machinery. At dawn, a single farmer climbs into a combine the size of a small house. Inside, it feels more like a cockpit than a tractor. Glowing screens, satellite maps, and sensors whispering data from every inch of the field. With the touch of a button, blades spin, conveyors hum, and the harvest begins. From above, the machines move with mesmerizing order, sweeping lines across an ocean of gold. Each combine knows its path, guided by GPS satellites miles above. Every kernel of grain is measured, tracked, and recorded with astonishing precision. Yet despite the digital rhythm, there's still something deeply human about it all. The hum of the engine may have replaced the creak of the plow, but the feeling, that mix of pride and gratitude, hasn't changed. A century ago, one farmer could barely feed his family. Today, thanks to technology, one can feed hundreds, even thousands. But progress didn't come easy. It was built on decades of trial and error, of engineers and dreamers working hand in hand with those who knew the soil best. Every invention, from the first self-binding reaper to the modern autonomous harvester, carries the fingerprints of both innovation and necessity. The modern combine is more than a machine. It's a masterpiece of human ingenuity, a blend of mechanics, software, and intuition. Cameras track every row. Sensors adjust cutting speeds. Some machines even drive themselves, steering with more accuracy than the human eye. Yet every farmer will tell you, they still keep a hand on the wheel. Because no matter how advanced the system, the land always has its own personality. There's beauty in this union of man and machine, in the shimmer of sunlight on polished steel, in the rhythmic sound of grain filling the tank, in the simple poetry of work done right. It's a dance of precision and patience, one that transforms chaos into order and effort into abundance. Across the Midwest, you'll see fleets of machines moving in unison, their lights glowing through the night as harvest races against time. Every minute counts. Storms can roll in fast, and moisture levels must be perfect. For some farmers, harvest days stretch to 20 hours, their cabins lit by the soft glow of digital dashboards and the golden reflection of headlights across the field. Inside that quiet cocoon of glass and metal, it's easy to forget the world beyond. There's just the hum, the sway, the endless sea of wheat bending in waves beneath the machine's path. A reminder that technology isn't cold. It's a tool of devotion. Out here, progress isn't about replacing tradition. It's about preserving it, ensuring that the same spirit that carried the pioneers still lives on, powered by sunlight and steel. The tools have changed, but the mission is the same: to feed a growing world and to honor the land that makes it possible. Because in the end, no matter how smart the machine becomes, it still answers to one thing: the heart of the farmer who guides it. And as the dust rises behind the combine and the last light of day fades into amber, you can almost hear the land whisper its approval. The harvest has changed, but its soul remains timeless. Behind every acre of golden wheat, there's a heartbeat, a family, a story, a lifetime of devotion. The machines may cut, thresh, and collect, but it's the people who give these fields their soul. In America's heartland, farming isn't just an occupation, it's a heritage, passed down like an heirloom, carried in the blood. Fathers teach sons how to read the sky. Mothers keep the books, fix the meals, and drive the grain trucks when the long days stretch into night. The rhythm of the harvest is the rhythm of their lives. From sunrise to sunset, families move together, each person playing a part in a choreography that's as old as time. A daughter steering the combine for the first time. A grandfather standing by the fence, watching with quiet pride. a boy running barefoot across the stubble, laughing as dust fills the air. These are the moments that define a season and a lifetime. It's not glamorous. It's hard, endless work. And yet, for those who live it, there's no greater joy. Because farming is more than what you do. It's who you are. When you talk to a wheat farmer, they'll tell you about the rain that came too late, the wind that came too soon, and the year they almost gave up but didn't. They'll tell you how the land tests you, not to break you, but to make sure you're worthy of it. And they'll say, with a quiet smile, that even on the hardest days, it's worth it. During harvest, sleep becomes a luxury. Meals are quick, sandwiches eaten behind the wheel, coffee gone cold before the next row is finished. But no one complains. There's a strange peace in the exhaustion, a shared understanding that this is what they were made for. Neighbors help neighbors. If a machine breaks down, someone shows up before you even ask. If storms threaten, everyone works through the night, side by side, headlights cutting through the darkness like hope. Out here, competition takes a back seat to community. Because when you live by the mercy of the sky, you learn to lean on each other. Generations pass, but the values remain. Perseverance, humility, gratitude. These are the true harvest of the heartland. The crops feed the world, but the spirit of the people feeds something deeper. The belief that honesty and effort still matter. The modern farmer may use drones and data, but the principles haven't changed. The soil still demands respect. The weather still humbles. And the reward still comes to those who endure. When the sun sets over the fields and the sky burns orange and violet, the combines slow to a stop. The air cools. The dust settles. And for a moment, there's quiet. Just the sound of the wind moving through the stubble. It's in that silence that farmers reflect on what they've built. Not just the harvest, but a legacy. Many of them will never be rich. Their names won't appear in headlines, but their work sustains millions. Their strength feeds nations. And their lives, simple as they may seem, represent the best of what America stands for: resilience, community, and hope. Tomorrow, they'll rise again before dawn. The engines will roar, the fields will glow, and the cycle will begin anew. Not because they have to, but because they want to. Because out here, in the heart of the land, tending the earth isn't a job, it's an act of faith. And faith, like the wheat they harvest, is something that keeps on growing. When the harvest is done, and the fields lie bare under the soft light of dusk, the journey of wheat is only beginning. Each golden kernel, once sheltered by the land, now begins its passage into the world. Trucks line up at the edge of the fields, their beds filled to the brim with grain. The engines rumble as they move toward towering silos that stand like sentinels across the plains. Here, the wheat is weighed, tested, and stored. A quiet pause before the next leg of its journey. From these silos, trains carry the grain across thousands of miles. Through small towns and endless prairies, the rail cars move like arteries pumping life through the nation's veins. Every whistle, every rumble is a reminder that this isn't just freight. It's nourishment. It's livelihood. It's the essence of America feeding the world. At ports along the Gulf of Mexico and the Pacific coast, ships wait patiently, their hulls open like hungry mouths. Wheat from Kansas, Oklahoma, Montana, and the Dakotas flows aboard, destined for faraway lands where the golden fields of America meet the bread of other nations. In Asia, it becomes noodles and dumplings. In the Middle East, it's flatbread baked in clay ovens. In Europe, it's warm loaves served with butter and honey. Every bite connects back to the same sun, the same soil, the same calloused hands that harvested it.
Few people who eat American wheat ever know the journey it's taken, from the whisper of wind across the plains to the hum of a factory half a world away. But that's the beauty of it. The work is silent, but its impact is vast. For farmers, this global connection brings pride and responsibility. They understand that what they do on a single acre can ripple across continents. The quality of their soil, the timing of their harvest, the care they take, it all matters. In many ways, America's wheat farmers are ambassadors. They don't wear suits or speak at conferences, but their work bridges cultures in the most essential way, through food. Because food, more than anything, unites us. The global wheat trade has its challenges, price swings, climate shifts, politics, but through it all, the farmer remains steady. He plants, he harvests, he ships, and somewhere, someone he'll never meet breaks bread made from his grain. That unseen connection is powerful, a reminder that humanity's stories, no matter how distant, always find a way to touch. In recent years, technology has tightened these connections even more. Farmers track international demand, monitor global prices in real time, and adjust their crops to meet the needs of millions they'll never see. The world has grown smaller, but the fields remain vast. And yet, amid all this progress, one truth endures: the spirit of giving, of feeding others, of turning hard work into sustenance has never changed. It's the same spirit that built the country, the same force that drives every harvest season after season. As the ships leave port and disappear beyond the horizon, they carry more than grain. They carry a piece of America, its resilience, its innovation, its heart. And back on the plains, under a sky full of stars, the farmers rest easy, knowing their work travels farther than they ever could. Because in every loaf, every grain, every meal shared across the world, there's a trace of the heartland. And that is how America speaks to the world, not in words, but in wheat. As the final days of harvest fade into autumn, the land exhales. The fields, once alive with movement and sound, now rest under a pale sky. What remains is not silence, but peace, the kind of peace that only comes after purpose. The last trucks roll in, the final loads are weighed, and the farmers, weary yet fulfilled, watch as their grain disappears into the elevators. Another season complete, another promise kept. Out here, the measure of success isn't found in profit margins or awards. It's written in the soil, in the weathered hands of those who tend it, and in the quiet satisfaction of work well done. There's a beauty in the simplicity of it all. Plant, nurture, harvest, repeat. The cycle never ends, and that's the point. Every generation adds its verse to this ongoing story. Grandfathers who once plowed with horses now stand beside grandchildren who pilot GPS-guided combines. Different tools, same dream. To make something from nothing, to turn sunlight and faith into bread. Farming teaches lessons that no classroom can. It teaches patience, because nature cannot be rushed. It teaches humility, because no one commands the sky. And it teaches gratitude, because abundance is never guaranteed. When you walk these fields at dusk, the horizon stretches forever. The air smells of dust, diesel, and destiny. You feel small and yet somehow infinite because you're standing in the middle of something bigger than yourself, a bond between humanity and the earth that began long before you and will endure long after. Each stalk of wheat harvested this year will soon be gone, ground, baked, eaten. But the meaning it carries will stay.
It's a symbol of endurance, of quiet strength, of people who believe that honest work still matters. And that belief, that stubborn hope, is the true legacy of the plains. The world beyond the fields may move faster every year, chasing new things, forgetting old ones. But here, in the heart of America, the rhythm stays. Machines may change, faces may change, but the spirit remains, steady, grounded, timeless. When the winter winds sweep across the stubble and the snow begins to fall, farmers rest only long enough to dream again. They'll plan, they'll prepare, and when spring returns, they'll start all over, because that's what they do. Because the land doesn't belong to them, they belong to the land. The sun will rise again, the seeds will find their way into the soil, and the golden fields will return. Proof that even after the hardest storms, life endures. So the next time you see a loaf of bread or a field glowing in the evening light, remember, somewhere, someone worked the earth for that moment. They rose before dawn. They fought wind, dust, and doubt. They believed in something simple, something good. And if these stories move you, if you find beauty in quiet strength and pride in honest work, stay with us, because there are more stories to tell, more hands to honor, more fields to share. This is Hands of America Discovery, and this is the heart of the land.